Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, actually the second video today, we're going to be looking at the champions that are going to be featuring in the Summon Rush event for the Razelvarg Fusion. Check out my Razelvarg Fusion plan if you want to see my walkthrough of how to complete this fusion. I think for most people he's worth going for. Definitely these summon events though have some tricks to them because the next summon event next weekend is going to be 2x Sacreds. So for this 10x, let's look at the epics that are going to be boosted. The void champions that are going to be boosted in this 10x event. First, obviously starting with the epic. And the epic champion that's going to be boosted is 2hack the Wanderer. Definitely not a super highly rated epic by any means. He's actually one I think is a bit underrated. He's on my radar. He has been for ages as a champion to actually take a look at. He has a passive. He takes less damage when his HP is low. He has a big AoE hit here that heals him by a chunk of the damage if his HP is low. It puts increased speed on him. It does an AoE decrease speed. His A1 can increase the target skills. Does it more all of their skills if he's low HP. He has a single target turn meter steal that can put it stun for 2 turns and steals more turn meter if he has less HP. So it's interesting, right? He's stronger the lower his HP is. Kind of rare to have the AoE decrease speed on an epic. I think he's okay. Definitely not a champion, though, I'll be going out of my way to pull for in a Void 10x. And speaking of, the legendary Void in the 10x is Clyde here, who is the new Void legendary. I haven't seen anything good about this champion yet. I'm gonna be honest. Like, she seems like she's okay. She's got a block damage passive, which is kind of cool. She has a sleep A1, but it's not consistent. Revive on death, block debuffs here. AoE decrease speed and leech with healing. She seems to me to mostly be a Sand Devil champion, but honestly, to be honest with you, until I see a team where it actually, uses her effectively and she stands out, I haven't seen anything yet. So I'd definitely not be using my void shards to pull for a 10x for her. I just don't see it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Maybe you've got a big brain idea for a team that can use her, and people might go for it just because she is new. But I'm not super sold on her, to be honest. I would be trying to avoid void shards. Yeah, avoid void shards. 2hack and Clyde not doing it for me. Good news is, from Ancients and Sacreds, the 10x champions are a whole lot better. So, starting with the epics, of course, which are the ones you're most likely to get, you've got a decent chance to get these epics in a 10x Summon Rush event, honestly. Stag Knight is the first one. Absolute MVP epic, just so generally useful. He comes in with great baseline speed, 107, which is fantastic. He's nice and tanky as well. AoE attack with decreased defense, decreased accuracy. A1 with an okay chance for decreased speed on each hit. And then he has an increased accuracy whenever an ally has a debuff resisted. What a fantastic hit. Just so solid. Yeah, he's just an amazing progression champion. He'll be in so many of your teams. So flexible. Great for Fire Knight with this one, especially progression in Fire Knight. Doom Tower with the accuracy is super useful. And he's just a great champion. Super good. Next up then, we have, she was the bane of my existence. It took me, can't remember, was it over 3,000 shards to pull her on the test server? Maybe I'll pull her this weekend and have her actually properly. It's Ruela. Really interesting champion. I used her in the Clover draft. Really high base speed, really high, 112. And she comes in with a turn meter fill with 30% increased crit rate for all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Then she has a triple hit A1 that can steal turn meter on crits, and a triple hit A2 with each hit can place decrease defense, weaken, and decrease speed. So for progressing again through normal Fire Knight, she's amazing. Going to help you take down that shield. Going to help you stay on top of the turn meter of the boss with the turn meter boost, with the turn meter steal, and with the decreased speed here. Bringing the decreased defense weaken as well. She's a really solid champion. Really great champion. So she's one that I think people will be happy to pull. Good for some Demon Lord Clan Boss stuff as well. And then finally, the final epic is the one that I would really want here is Lady Annabelle. Lady Annabelle is actually fantastic. I was so wrong about her when I first saw her kit. I first saw her kit and I was like, she doesn't seem that good. I was super wrong. Why is she good? We have AoE decrease speed and leech on her A2. It's the same as the Void Legendary, actually. That's funny, though. The Void Legendary does a big heal as well. She does have a HP swap that puts out increased speed on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn. And that is kind of what's so special about her for things like Hydra, an epic champion with increased speed for the team and AoE decreased speed and leech. Amazing for Hydra. And then her passive, healing her by 50% max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. This lets her solo Bommel the Dreadhorn in Doom Tower. Bommel the Dreadhorn is, in my opinion, the most difficult boss for people to get past. Lady Annabelle is by far the easiest way to do it. Every time a dread bomb explodes, she heals half of her max HP. So it's absolutely no stress. She's very tanky. It's very easy to keep her alive. And you can throw her into a Hydra team. She's going to be a great champ for that too. So yeah, Lady Annabelle, I think is actually super good. Moving on to the legendaries then. So obviously your chance to get the legendaries is a good bit smaller, but you never know. It's pretty miserable, honestly, from Ancients and Sacreds to get the legendary. The epics are much better because, like with Sacred Shards, it's nearly always an epic that comes out. So you've lots of chances for the 10x champ. You might get one of them, you know. But yeah, let's see. So Countess Lix is up first. In fact, all three of these legendaries are actually previous guaranteed events, though I have missed all but one of them. So yeah, Countess Lix, she was the first ever guaranteed ancient champion a long time ago. Cool turn meter champion, right? AoE with block active skills that decreases ally skills by 1 turn, which is kind of nice. She's AoE triple hitter with decreased speed and a bit of turn meter pushback. A1 weaken. She does some stuff with Astralon if they're on the same team. She gets turn meter whenever an ally gets a debuff. She's not a bad champion. She's shown up in some Hydra teams for the AoE decreased speed and the a cooldown reduction, which is not bad. Very good for Doom Tower for wave control. Not an amazing champion in Arena, but not a bad champion in Arena either. Like Stone Skin really flummoxes her, but she's good. She's a solid champion. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. I don't have her. I'd like to get her. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. The next one for me is one of my most wanted champions, has always been Lady Kimmy, also a previous guaranteed Ancient Shard champion. The best speed aura for Doom Tower in the game. She gets she can push back turn meter when she places debuffs on enemies. Fills turn meter for debuffs received by your team, which is great. Increase speed, increase accuracy, turn meter fill, A3. Decrease accuracy, decrease speed, AoE, A1. Turn meter pushback, A1. Sorry, this is her A2, derp, derp. But yeah, I think, you know, for live arena, for any arena, probably the best increase accuracy champion overall. I think Yoshi's really good as well. And you know, Razelvarg has something to say there too, to be fair. But I think for like coming in with a crazy 115 base speed, I think for live arena especially, you can let you switch into like a bomb team or something like that very effectively, which is cool with the turn meter boost, the increased accuracy and speed, the crazy base speed. He can come in and let you go first and control the enemy very effectively, get past those Mithralis and stuff. So I think she's a very useful champion to have. She's solid for Hydra. Not, in my opinion, probably not as good as like you know, it's obviously nowhere near as good as Nekmothar. He's way better. I think Shamrock is better than her for Hydra as well, but she's still good. She's definitely good. The decreased accuracy is kind of cool that she brings the increased accuracy. Good champion. So she is nice. And finally, then the final legendary that we have here is Astaltus, who I do have, but I would love a second one. He was the most recent, yeah, wasn't he? Yeah, the most recent guaranteed ancient champion. So this is a fairly recent one. He's a fairly recent champion. But not only is he a great defensive nuker with high defense and 63% crit damage, you can throw him in Stone Skin, throw him in Polymorph Blessing, and he is going to smack really hard while also being really tanky and a pain to deal with in Arena and Stone Skin and Polymorph. Right? He gives himself increased defense, which boosts his damage. He's 2 different AoEs, AoE here, and then another AoE which has a chance to stun, which is very useful for locking down the enemy damage dealers. You're likely not building with any accuracy, so he's not going to put debuffs on their tanky champions, which is good because the tanky champions usually have polymorph. You don't want to get sheeped, and he hits hard with his A1. The reason I say I'd love a second Astaltus is because of his passive. He is probably the best champion in the game for Hard Dragon, right? What does Hard Dragon do? It tries to put a bunch of poisons and weaken on you. He throws those back. He reflects those debuffs back at the attacker. So for speedrunning Dragon, a Astaltus in like a big regen set, just a big tanky Astaltus, who just sits there and keeps throwing the debuffs back is like the fastest way to kill it. You let the Hard Dragon kill himself. It's a passive with no cooldown. It's just amazing for it. So Astaltus is the way to go for Hard Dragon. I would love a second one. Like I said, my first one, I'm willing to farm Dragon a little bit slower and not use Staltus, to be honest. That's fine with me. Use my Staltus for live arena and tag arena and stuff like that. I think he's a beast there. So he's a great champion. So yeah, you put all this stuff together. What do I think of this 10x event? I think the voids are pretty weak. I would be avoiding those if you can, but you might not be able to because it's 2x sacreds next weekend if you're doing the fusion, which I think you probably should if you can as well. You might need to pull your voids. It's a pretty bad week for 10x voids. Lucky 10x events are pretty bad. The void shards, they're not so bad. That's awkward. I think that the 10x champions for ancients and sacreds are actually pretty good. Really nice selection of epics, honestly, that are going to be very helpful for anyone early or mid game that pulls them. They should be very happy with any of those epics, I think. And the legendaries are all quite excellent. Countess Lix being the weakest one, but I think Kimmy and Staltus are both like really useful. That are brilliant for anyone's account for arena, for hard dragon, for hydra, for that sort of stuff. For Doom Tower waves as well. Both of them. They're both excellent champions. So very good. There you go. Let me know what you think. I am going to be pulling shards because I'm doing the fusion. I'm going to need to pull some shards in the summon rush. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.